Srimatre Namaha. There are many rituals nowadays prescribed by many people. Some are purely external oriented, some are like meditation, tarpana. Whatever it may be, every ritual should have a connection with your inner self. That is the purpose of any ritual. If it is not, then even the inner meditation is separate from you because you are not connected to that. So one of the great ritual is Sathyannarayana vratham or puja. Many people say it's puja, but actually it's a vratham, which means the essence of Satyanarayana vratham should be followed all along the life, not just doing the puja one day. That one day puja is only a reminder of what to do, but the essence of that should be followed. Let us see what is this puja. Like any vratham, the prologue is worshipping Ganesha, worshipping different deities, and getting your mind set on the puja. So the middle part of the puja is divided into two parts. One is worshipping the supporting energies of the main energy, which is Satyanarayana Swami, Lakshmi. It's a form of Vishnu, Lakshmi and Vishnu. So supporting is Panchaloka Palakas, the deities who rule 5 worlds, Panchaloka Palakas, and 9 planets, Navagrahas, with their Adhidevata, Pratyaddevatas, with their supporting energy on either side. And then Ashtadikpalaka, the protecting God in the 8th direction. This is entirely a supporting structure for main puja. And how do you do the puja? On the east side, you are supposed to clean the floor with cow dung. It's not literally cow dung. They say if it is available, you can use. Otherwise, you can sprinkle turmeric water. But all along the arrangement, you need to keep on saying, Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Narayanaya, and nothing else. No other mundane talk. That's the purpose of this all. So your puja has already started. And then you clean, you put a nice plank. That plank is representing your own self. And then you put a white cloth with a thick border, a towel-like thing. The white cloth is the illusion we have, and the thick border is the confidence, the trust you have on the supreme energy, that it is there to protect you always. That is the concept. Just represent that. So when you are spreading that cloth, you need to feel that. Not any other cloth, white. And then you spread rice, raw rice, and each seed of the rice represents your seed of bhakti in you, devotion in you. So you can sing songs, bhajans, and spread that. And then you put a kalash, a special type of vessel with a neck. And that kalash represents your body, like your neck. The vessel also has got a neck. So you feel that Vishnu is in the face of the kalash, that is your face, and Rudra is in the neck, and Brahma is in the base. And you put water in the kalash up to the neck, imagining this is the water from the 7 holy rivers, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri. All the energy of the water we are putting. And that is the life force in us, Prana Shakti. Everything is only representing us. And then you put a flower, which is representing broad-mindedness, and sandalwood powder, your inner and outer association with the thoughts, inner, outer, the people, and akshata, the sacred rice mixed with turmeric powder and a drop of ghee, which determination, undeterred devotion and focus. Then you put a coconut, and the coconut is your Atman, the inner self, and you decorate the coconut. The inner self should be always peaceful. The peace of the inner self is decoration. And then on that, you invoke Satyanarayana Swami. That means it's not just on the colors, you need to invoke here. So this is the setup we have. Now, Panchaloka 5 palakas. And for every energy, you have a betel leaf, which serves like a seat, asana. And you have a date, dry date, you put on the betel leaf, and you put some akshatas, and you put some nut powder, and a coin, a flower. This is a set. You can make a set and hold in your hand, and then recite the mantra of the invoking deity which is being invoked. So what is the setup? One is chair. The dry date is actually intended to serve as the protein food for the family of the Brahman who is doing the puja. In those days, the Brahmins used to live only on doing the puja and nothing else. So the income is meager. How can they get the rich protein food? So in this way, after the puja, the whole mandap is given back to the Brahman. He gets money, he gets the dry date which is full of protein. That's how it is. And then of course the flower is your broad-mindedness, and akshatas, as I told you, undeterred determination. So the first Panchaloka Palaka is Ganapathi Ganesha, who starts everything, who gives a sankalpa, who removes all the obstacles and keeps the mind clear to have a good thought. Fine. Then you invoke Brahma in the same way, just adjacent to Ganesha. And Brahma sustains that sankalpa. So many times you have a thought and then immediately it fizzles out. Okay, let's do later. That means it doesn't have a life force. Brahma gives the life force to the sankalpam. And then you invoke Vishnu, who puts that sankalpam into action to get a result. Like you're hungry, I'm hungry. That realization Ganapathi gives. And that is stabilized by Brahma and Vishnu. Then you start searching for food. Vishnu gives the skill and capacity to get the food. Siddhikarta. Then after that you eat the food. Suppose after eating the food also you have the same hunger, then you can't bear the life. So there should be one who can kill the hunger in you. And then comes Rudra. So invoke Rudra, Layakarta. Actually he is doing a lot of good for us. So he removes the desire. And all these four Lokapalakas are working at the control of Goddess Mother Durga. So Durga is the fifth Panchalokapalaki, female. So that I understand, this is my mother's abode. Under her influence only these four Lokapalakas. So I need to just hold her feet, everything is taken care of. That understood. Then you invoke 9 planets, and along with the Adidevata, Pratyadevata supporting anything. Here you need to focus on many things. Each planet is connected to a metal, to a color, and to a mathematical shape of the mandala. So everything has got a purpose. So Surya Graha, if you see the mantra, Madhye Vartulakara Mandale Stapita Swarna Pratima Rupena Surya Graham Avayam. Color, Raktavarnam Raktagandham, red color. Red color is action, Rajogunam. So you have more energy to do the action. And gold is connecting you to sun god, live energy. That's why as per the Loha Shastra, it is always good to have some gold on your body. But if you don't have money for buying the gold, that's fine. Your gold-like character itself is gold for you. So, and Surya is actually connected to us in a different way. When we are in the mother's womb, the 7 dhatus, skin, blood, flesh, bone, bone marrow, sperm, cerebral fluid, all these 7 dhatus are given from the Surya's energy. And Surya is the life force. So, that Surya you are getting connected, that Pranashakti you are connected to in invoking the Surya. On either side of the Surya, on the south side, on the right side of the Surya, you have Agni. On the other side, Rudra. That's why Rudra is like father type. Agni is discipline. You have energy, discipline, action oriented. That's how our life starts. Then comes moon. On the southeast corner of the mandap, you invoke moon. And what is the mantra saying? Moon's birthday is Kartika Purnami. Every birthday is also prescribed. And Svetavarnam Svetagandham, white color. So all the auspicious colors, 3 auspicious colors. Every color is good, but 3 are very supportive for anybody in the initial stages of spiritual practice. One is red, one is white, one is yellow. So white is connected to moon. And Rajata Pratima Rupena. Rajata means silver. Silver is connected to moon. That's why in your puja room, we always say the vessels can be of silver, brass, copper or gold, but not iron, which is connected to Shanishwara and Rahu. So silver, and then form is, mandala is Chaturastra Kara Mandale, square. So previously you have a circle, now you have a square. All the mathematical figures are coming. And on either side of the moon, you have one is Apaha, water. On the other side is Gauri, mother. See, the previous one is Agni Rudra, fire and Rudra. This is water, cool, compassion, and Gauri, mother. So that's father, this is mother. And in our mother's womb also, after the Prana Shakti, you get mind. And that is moon. That is controlled by Chandrama, Manasojjata, Chakshosuru. Now then comes on the south side, to the right of Surya, you invoke Mars, Kuja. And then how is this planet? Raktavarnam Raktagandham, again red in color. Tambra Pratima Rupena, copper. It is invoked by copper. That's why puja also, copper vessels also good. Sthapita Trikonakara Mandale, triangle is coming. The triangle, copper and red color. These are connected to Kuja, which gives Laukika, worldly knowledge. How to, communication is the best thing. So if you have a Kuja dosha, you will not be successful in the business. You will not be successful in communication. Mangalik, they say in the North India. So that is actually lack of communication, lack of worldly knowledge. That is taken care by the Kujat Graha. And that is on the south side. So in our life also, it's not enough we have control of mind, but we also have worldly knowledge, how to speak, where to speak, when to speak, and what to speak. And that is Kuja. You are successful because you have everything, you have money. And that's not enough. You need to have bhakti, devotion, which connects you to the parent, main source. And that devotion is given by the planet Mercury, is on the northeast corner to Surya. And how is that Mercury? Pita Varnam, Pita Gandham, Pita Pushpam. That is yellow in color. And what is the shape? Banakara Mandala. Bana means arrow. Arrow is hitting the target. So when you have bhakti, you hit the target. You know where to go, which direction to go. You have a definite aim to the life. And this bhakti is connected to a metal kamsya, bronze. So 5 panchalohas are gold, silver, copper, bronze and tin. Most of you may not be knowing, tin is the panchaloha. When you go to the shop, they give coral and some other pearl, something. They are not panchalohas. Lohas are this. So on either side of Mercury, you have Vishnu and Narayana. Both look the same, appear the same, but energy is slightly different. And this worshipping of planet Mercury gives you bhakti, devotion. So now you have life force, control of mind, communication skills, bhakti. You have everything. Now you get the higher knowledge, higher intellectual ability, spiritual knowledge you get. And that is given by the Deva Guru. Dandakshamala Jalapatradari Sindhyakya Dese Varatsudeva. Jalapatra, Kamandala, Danda, and Akshamala, like a rishi. This is described. And what color? Kanakavarnam, Ganakagandham, almost like similar to Pitavarnam also some people say. It's pinkish and yellowish little bit color. These are all good colors which we need to get connected as often as possible. And what is the metal? We just now told. Trapu Pratima Rupena. Trapu means tin. And what is the shape of the mathematical shape of the mandala? Dirghachaturasrakara mandale. That's a rectangle. So you have 5 mathematical shapes now. And this Brihaspati is called Deva Guru, the one who gives you positive thought and spiritual knowledge. Now, our life is full. When your life is full, there is every possibility of the ego creeping into your life. And ego and mind going towards comforts. And that is created, Bhoga Lalasa, they say. And that is created by Shukra. The planet is at the navel, Manipura. And what is the color of the Shukra? Svetavarnam, Svetagandham, white color. What is the metal? Lead. Sita Pratima Rupena. What is the mandala? Panchakonakara mandale. Pentagon. So what is it representing? The ego takes over the 5 indriyas, and the indriyas will be always going towards the comfort. Now, the graph is like this, and now it takes a downward trend. And into this Sukragraha worship is reminding us to be careful of the ego and take it, laziness when you are very successful. So, on either side of Sukragraha, one is Indrani and another is Indra Marutvantam. On Brihaspati, we forgot to tell, on either side of Brihaspati, you have Indra and Brahma. Brahma gives the knowledge, spiritual knowledge. Indra gives popularity. That's why even the president of the country comes and visits the Swamiji. That's how it is. So now coming to Shukra, Indra Marutvantam Indrani, Marudganat, the Paricharikas of Indra and Indrani on either side. And that may develop. If you worship, that will protect you from developing ego. And now the next planet is coming, Shanishwara Saturn. And that is below Sun. And what is the color? Neelavarnam, Neelagandham, Neelapushpam, Neelava. See, Neela is not actually Neela. It's like dark blue and it's almost like black, Kalavarnam. And what is the metal? Ayapratima Rupena. It's something like iron only, a different version of iron. And what is the mathematical figure? Dhanurakara Mandale, parabola. So, and what does Shanishwara do to you? When Shanishwara entering our consciousness, our lifestyle, you get postponement mentality, laziness. And that's enough for the downfall of one. So, you need to protect yourself. By worshipping Shanishwara, you protect yourself. And on either side of Shanishwara, one on the north and south side is Yama, his brother. On the other side, Prajapati. So now you move on to Rahu, which is on the southwest corner. And that's a Rakshasa Sthana. Shanishwara is okay. At least you get into trouble and somebody will suggest a good solution for that. He'll be having tendency to listen to that person and come out. But Rahu is not like that. You dig our own big ditch and then sit there and feel depressed and complain that nobody is helping. You don't take the help of anybody. And that's Rahu. And Rahu, what is the color? Again black. Apradakshinim kurvanam. All the planets move in the circular and this one goes in the anti-clockwise direction. And how they describe Rahu? Karalavatram Karavala Suli. Always grumpy face, always annoying face, never smiled in their life, and always fighting Karavala Suli with a sword. See, this is a characterization which we need to understand and we need to be careful of. And we should not allow that. Then why then we are inviting those planets and energies in the puja. That means to make sure that as long as you believe in the Supreme God, you don't need to be afraid of any planet whatsoever. So, on either side of Rahu, or one side is cow, one side is serpent. And they say Sarpadosha is also caused by this. And this is worshipped in Loha Rupena, Loha Pratima Rupena. That means iron, pure iron. That's why we always say, don't take any iron article from the hand or any gift, and not to use iron articles in your puja room. So that is Rahu. And finally, Ketu. Ketu is not a graham, it's called Ganam. So if you go back to your lifestyle, life cycle rather, birth, 7 elements, Surya, mind, Moon, communication, Kuja, Mars, devotion, Mercury, spiritual knowledge, Brihaspati, Jupiter, and running towards fame and comfort, Shukra, Bhoga, laziness, lethargy, Shanishwara, fighting character, not a friendly nature, Rahu, bad thoughts, depression, negative thinking, everything Rahu. And finally, when you come to Ketu Gana, the birth star of Ketu Gana is Revati Nakshatriktam. Revati is the last star. That means, that denotes indirectly that is your last chance. And you will be evaluated. And what is the place in which it is born? Antarvedi Deshe. Antarvedi is a place where Godavari river meets the sea. That means again end point. So this is the end point for our life. Starting point is Surya, and end point is Ketu. On either side of Ketu, naturally one side is Chitragupta, the accountant. On the other side is Brahma, the one who evaluates the life, it should be transferred to the next one. What is the color? Chitravarnam, Chitragandham, Chitrapushpam. All other colors are specific, but this is the end. You have enjoyed different colors. So Chitravarnam. What is the mathematical? Dvajakara Rupena. End point. The target. If you go in a marathon race, when finishing line, you have a flag. That finishing line is Ketu. So this 9 into 3, because on either side, for every planet, this is the main planet. On either side, the Adidevata, Pratidevatas are there. So 3 for each planet, 9 into 3, 27. Already we have invoked Panchalokapalakas, 32 total. Now we are going to invoke Ashtadikpalakas, total 40. And 40 in spiritual field is called Mandala. That's why it is a very powerful puja. So after this, you invoke Ashtadikpalakas, who are the protecting energies in the 8th direction. Indra in the east, Agni in the southeast, Yama in the south, Niruti in the southwest, Varuna in the west, and Vayu in the northwest, Kubera in the north, and Ishana in the northeast corner. So they will be invoked. So after this, you have a pendant or a yantra of Sathyannarayana Swami. You wash it. Not actually wash it. You do abhishekam. That's a better way to put it. You do abhishekam with the Panchamrita. If you have a pendant of Sathyannarayana Swami and or yantra, you do abhishekam with Panchamrita mantra. Panchamrita is milk, yogurt or curd, ghee, honey and sugar. You mix, and then with the mantras, you do abhishekam. After that, you clean with the water and then decorate that with sandalwood powder and kumkum and put it on the colors. That is, of course, puja procedure, which you will be knowing anyways from any book. Now, you start doing the 16 upachara pujas for Sathyannarayana Swami. This is a normal puja. It's always better at the Ashtottara. Many people say Narayana Namaha, Narayana Namaha. It's always better to append that with the Govinda, another great nama for Vishnu. So you say Om Narayana Namaha, Govinda, Om Narayana Namaha, Govinda. Like that, Om Sarvadharaya Namaha Govinda, Om Niradharaya Namaha Govinda, Om Dharadharaya Namaha Govinda. Like that, if you recite, you get more energy. Ask your guests also to join to recite with you. And of course, you at the end, you get up, you do a production. There also the mantra says, Sansara Sagaranantva Uddaratsa Mahaprabho. Sarva Brahma Nivaranam Sansara Sagaranantva Uddaratsa Mahaprabho. See, you get up, it's not going round and round. At that time, you evaluate yourself inner. Self-analysis. That is pradakshina. So, all the illusions are removed. All the while you are thinking that this is permanent. Now I know nothing. So, I need to utilize my mind, my moment effectively. Samsara Sagaranantva Uddaratsa Mahaprabhu. You are the only one who can pull me out of this samsara. With that, you do pradakshina. And of course, you put a fruit before Sathyannarayana Swami. And there also, there is a mantra. And it says, Manophalam Samapayami Asirvatanam Apekshamanaya. That means you are offering your sankalpa, whatever it may be, in the form of fruit. Whatever decision you give, that I am going to take. At the end of the puja, you just eat that fruit. So, idam palam maya devam sapitam puratattava tena me sapala vapti bhavet janma janmani Sri Sathyannarayana Swami Nama manophalam samapayami. With that, you hold and put it and you eat it later. So, that is the main part of the puja. What's more important is also the katha, the story. Most of the pujas are appended with story. And the story essentially involves who told this, who brought this great ritual into the public, who is the first one to perform, and what changes, what transformations that person has got in their life by doing this ritual. It is an inspiration for us and reminding us also of some other qualities which that person who has done that puja has followed, and by following the same quality, we can also get. So, the story is known to everybody. And I see often when I go to do the Satyanarayana Puja, everybody is relaxed and reluctant. Oh, I know this. Like watching the same movie again and again. That's how they think. But it's not. And that's why the Purohit, the Brahman says, Satyanarayana Vatakadayam, Savadhana, Savadhana, Savadhana. I know that you know the story, but then this is a message of God. Any number of times you listen, because the external world is illusion, maya, very attractive and distraction for you. So, to stabilize your spiritual energy, you need to listen carefully. So, what is the story? And Saunaka, the saints, will ask their Guru, Suta Mahamuni, every day after the rituals are completed, they used to spend time by asking intelligent, wise questions related to spiritual field, not personal. My Guruji also used to say, I am waiting for any disciple who asks spiritual questions and not any problem that is bothering them. That's okay, but occasionally you need to ask. So, this Guru will reply to them, and the effect of the result of that reply gave us Ganesha Chaturthi story, puja, and Saraswati vratham. So many pujas have got to us because of the discussion between the Guru and the Sishya. So, these disciples asked their Guru, is there any puja, ritual, in this present Kali Yuga, by doing which anybody can get whatever their desire and also get salvation, iha para. Then the Suta Mahamuni replied, Narada also asked Vishnu the same question. He was going round and round all the three worlds, and in the Bhuloka, he sees all the people going under the illusion. Because he's very kind-hearted, he feels pity on these people and go to Vishnu Loka to ask for a solution. Now here comes the message for us. He has a big desire of removing the woes of the public. But after seeing Mahavishnu, he doesn't expose himself with the desire. He doesn't say, Vishnu, I came for this purpose. No. He praises Vishnu in no uncertain times 3 times. You are beyond thought, word, and deed. Nobody can see you, perceive you in these trikaranas. You don't have a guna, but still you took a form just to bless us with guna. So like that he praises. Bhakti Vashya Bhayapaha. Naturally Vishnu stops him. Narada, what is the desire you have? Tell me. Whatever desire you have, I will fulfill. Blank check. Even then, because he's a great Rishi, he doesn't use it for his personal purpose. That's again another good character we need to note. And then he says, there is any solution for this woes of the public? Then Vishnu suggests this vrata and also tells how to do. That's all given in the book. And then the first chapter ends with a description of the puja procedure. And in that, Vishnu tells, it can be done any day. That's a preferable. Don't wait for the muhurat. But if you have an opportunity to do, it'll be nice if you can do in the Kartika Masa during November time, or Magha Masa during March and April time, on a Purnami, full moon day, in the evening time, sunset time, or any time. So, and he describes how to do the puja, and that description is given in the first chapter. The second one, these rishis ask, who has done this puja before? And the story starts, there was a Brahmin in Kasi Nagara, Benares. They could have selected any town, right? Madras, Bangalore. Why select Benares? Benares is the ultimate Shmashana, ultimate point, Shiva's abode. There one Brahmin is there, and he was poor, going from house to house, he was living on begging, and Vishnu Murti comes in the form of a Brahmin. He asks him, why are you begging like this? Because, the reason for asking is, Brahmin is supposed to do only 3 houses. He has to beg. In 3 houses, if they give alms, that's fine. Otherwise, he has to do upavasa. But this fellow is going, is completing all the community. Then Brahman replies, well, I have a samsara to take care. And I don't have money, what to do? Then Vishnu Murti says, I have a big puja for you. Will you do? Now comes a message from the Brahman. Even though he was living on begging, Yachaka, he never thought, how can I do this great puja when I don't have money? There's complete trust on God. What I see is God. What I hear is God. That was the, stage of that Brahman. He says, definitely. And he gives the list of the articles required and then a puja procedure. This Brahman never gets a negative thought, how can I do? Moreover, he takes a decision, tomorrow I am going to do this puja. Whatever money I am getting by begging, I am going to do the puja. What confidence you should have to have that kind of belief. And the story says, that night he doesn't get sleep out of anxiousness, not actually joy, excessive joy. We also, many of us don't get sleep when we have a big function. This is out of anxiety, fear, whether we can do the puja or not. Out of excitement and joy, he didn't get the sleep. The next day, he gets up in the morning and prays to Sathyannarayana Swami. There also we need to know, what is the prayer? Hey Satyanarayana Mahaprabhu, under your guidance, under your order, I want to do this. And rest is with you, however you do. Total surrender. The moment he prays like that, He sees his begging bowl full of money. Whatever money I get, I'm going to use this for puja. That's what he's promised. Now, God is testing him whether he is going to stick to that promise or not. So, but he's a good Brahmin. So, he uses all the money and buys the puja material and performs the puja as per the Shastras and comes out of poverty. Then the rishis who are listening to the story, they ask their guru, is there any other person who doesn't know any mantra, have done this puja? Because people have misnomer. Only Brahmins can do this puja. All the mantras have to be recited properly. Otherwise, you get punishment. All these misnomers are removed in this chapter. Then the leader says, Sutta Mahamuni says, while this Brahman was doing the puja, there was a person who was selling wood, and he was carrying the bundle on his head. And after listening to the name of God while going in the field, he forgets everything. At that time, he was suffering from a lot of hunger and thirst. There is no money. Not even one wood was sold. But then, the moment he listens, he forgets everything, puts the bundle down, goes inside. That was the surrender of a wood seller. Have we got that? We need to test. That kind of surrender. That's why the puja was successful to everyone who had done in the chapters. And we are doing for years together. Why? This is the main point we need to follow. So he goes inside, listens to the story, takes the prasad, and then also he asks one question. I like this puja. Can I also do this? He never asks about the money, how much cost it will. He never asked about the time, how much time. That was the openness he was having. So the Brahmin describes the puja. There also Brahmin doesn't say, no, only we can do. You are a Shudra, you cannot do. He didn't talk like that. Anybody can do. What we learned from the story, we are doing every time. Anybody can do. The method of doing is different. I may be doing Vedokta. You can do Puranokta. There's a method. So, like the Brahman, the wood seller also decide tomorrow whatever money I'm going to get by selling the wood, I'm going to use. When you make a sankalpa with total surrender, what happened? The next day, even the rich people come to his house. Whether they need or not, they bought all the wood. And he got money and he's done the puja, and both of them attained salvation. That's the second chapter. Now the third chapter comes. There was a king, Ulka Mukha, and he was very pious king, and he was doing Sathyannarayana puja every year. And when he was doing the puja, there was a businessman going in that direction. He sees the puja. Businessman is not the normal business we are talking about. It's the character, inner character of trying to do business with God. To depict that, they use the word business. This is not a caste or normal business. We need to understand. So he goes there and asks the king, hey Raja, I see you perform. Why you are doing? What will I get if I do this? This is business. The wood seller didn't ask that question. But he asked this question. Then Raja says, I don't have putra santana, male child. That's why I'm doing. Then this businessman says, I don't have a child at all. Let me also do. And he goes home and tells his wife. Here also, advance payment. That's what we know we do in business. He gives a condition of advance payment to God. If I get a child, then I'll do the puja. Exact terminology. But at least you do something. So, Bhagavan, God Satyanarayana Swami listened to his prayer and he gets a female child. And at the naming ceremony, wife reminds him, you promised that you are going to do the puja. Why don't we do? And because the business-minded person, he wants to conveniently escape from that moment. He says, now if we do, only few people will come. Let us do in the marriage time of this daughter. Postponement What is the planet? Shanishwara. And the downfall started right there. And then when the time of marriage comes, in the joyous moment, both husband and wife also forget of doing this Satyanarayana Puja. That's why in most of the custom, we do Satyanarayana Puja every time we have an auspicious moment to protect us from the distraction of joy. So they forget. And then in the story it is written, Satyanarayana Swami has got a lot of anger. He did sharp on this person. I'm going to see the end of this fellow. I'm going to give a lot of punishment. And I think that's not right way to put it. It may be there in the stotra, but the Kali Yuga, the way you present should be changed. The youth will never accept that. The same thing can be presented in a different way, like a parent getting worried about an erring child. To put that erring child in the right path, what action the parent will take, the same action God has taken to put this erring jiva who goes in the wrong path of lying, not fulfilling the promise, to put that. So if the car is running smooth, that's fine. But if you want to change the gear, there is some trouble, right? Going from first gear to fifth gear. So the trouble is there. It's not punishment. It's for progressiveness. So under that influence, this son-in-law and father-in-law, they go to a business. You know the story. They are unnecessarily accused of robbery. The king punishes them. And the story stops there. And the back end, this mother and daughter, they didn't go for the business trip along with the sadhu, Vaishya. But they were driven to uttermost poverty. And one day, the daughter comes home late. And the mother asks, "Why are you so late?" And then the daughter replies, "Amma, I have gone to attend a Sathyannarayana Puja." That is again the miracle of God. So He didn't leave them to their fate. Through the daughter, God reminded of their promise. And because this mother is also, in the right path, immediately she remembered, "Oh, I thought we forgot completely about this prayer. We broken our promise. So let us do it themselves, then and there." So because they again came back to the righteous path, and that yielded result, the Raja, the king who punished these people, gets a message internally that he should release these two people. So that's fine. The business people, the father-in-law, son-in-law, they come with the business bags. When they are about to cross the river, again Vishnu wants to test them. He comes in the disguise of a Brahmin and goes there. Again, here also, we need to note down a good principle of donation. What is the best time, best way of donation? It says, it is good to donate to a right person at the right place, at the right time, for the right cause. These conditions, if you meet, don't ever hesitate. Whatever mind says, don't listen. Go with the gut feeling and donate. And that day when Vishnu has come was Paurnami, good time. The place was the bank of a river, good place. And the person is a Brahmin, Pandit, good person. And he says, "I'm going to do Satyanarayana Puja, give me some help." Good cause. But till these business people, always business minded, say, "Why should I give?" And moreover, they lie to this Pandit. And they say, "These bags, we don't have anything. It's just creepers and leaves, just trash." That's why we forgot the one of the Chatur Mahavakyas, "Aham Brahmasmi." Never ever say a bad word. Never ever curse anybody, curse yourself. Trust me, it's going to materialize, if not now, sometime later. But you might have forgotten that you have cursed yourself at the time. Always speak good of people, good of yourself. Don't curse anybody. So, whatever he does, Vishnu says, "Tadastha," and goes away. And the money bags become light. They realize, they go and prostrate before the sadhu, the Brahman, and ask forgiveness. That is the story. And again, coming back here, the mother and daughter, they do the puja. But the daughter, after hearing their arrival, the husband and father's arrival, she stops the puja in the middle and runs to the seashore to see the husband. That's not bad. But then, at least she should have recited the name of the God while she was going to the bank. She never. She forgot conveniently. That's most of us will do. We pray, and when the things happen, we conveniently forget. We put God aside. On a birthday, how many of you go to the temple and do the puja along with doing a birthday party? Don't put out the fire. Blow the candles. That's not the culture here. Light the candle of knowledge. That's the culture. So, the way you understand, not giving priority to God, that affected her. And again, of course, after that, they get the inner feeling, what they have done, they realize, and they corrected their mistake, and then the fourth chapter also ends. The final chapter, there is a king called Tungadvaja, a very good king, pious king, but only one bad quality is ego. And he feels great to be a king. I'm a king. I cannot mix with the people. That kind of arrogant ego he has got. So the story says, one day he goes to a forest. In the forest, cow herds doing a Sathyannarayana puja under the shade of a bilva tree. All the three are pious. Cow herd, cow. Bilva tree, bilva. And Sathyannarayana puja, not a small puja. And they invite the king. He doesn't go there. Out of ego, he doesn't go. And they bring the prasad to him after doing the puja. The king accuses, how dare you can bring prasad? I'm a king, you are after all cow herd. How can I eat? So when you are egoistic, you have to, Dravidim Vignakartaram. You have to face that consequence. So what happened? This king is drawn to an illusion where he gets the pain of losing his 100 children and losing his kingdom. Is it really happened? We don't know. And if you explain that king has lost 100 children, king has lost his kingdom, then afterwards he came back and does the puja, all the 100 children came back, the youth may not agree for that. But actual fact may be like this. Most of the time, you misplace a valuable ornament, and for months together you search, and for months together you'll be worrying. Have you really lost? No. After that you get that ornament. But you have to go through this illusion. And the same illusion was to the king. He felt that under the influence of the bad karma, he felt that he lost his 100 children and in a kingdom. Then, whenever there is a pain, the rule is you have to again revisit yourself and like, I was all along happy. Why I am so depressed now? He didn't accuse the other person. Then he realized, oh, we rejected the prasad given by the cowherd. That's the reason. So he goes back to the forest, does the vratham again with the cowherd. Of course, finally comes out of illusion. So this is the 5 stories you need to get the information from and put that information into practice. There are 2 more stories which may not be familiar with to the people, and I'm going to touch base briefly. There is a businessman called Dushta Buddhi. Dushta means evil, Buddhi means mind. Can you have a name which is meaning evil mind? That's why when you name a child, your child, you should see that it has got maximum of these letters. Sa, ra, ta, va, ma. Sound. If not letter, sound. Sa, ra, ta, va, ma. This is positive energy producing sound. So, this Dushtabuddhi, as the name goes, he never believed in God, egoistic, arrogant. So the people in his village call him for a puja. He says, there is no God at all. All this money has been acquired by me. Arrogant. So one day he goes to the next town for business. He gets lots of money. And he thinks to himself, see, there is no God. Even though if he is there, he should have punished me at this time. And even tells God mentally, hey, if you are really there, show me your presence by punishing me. Will anybody pray like that? That's called Dushta Buddhi. And his prayer has been heeded. So when he was coming for the money back in the forest, the dacoits attack him, beat him profusely, and take the money. Then this fellow changes the plate. Now he prays again. No, I thought bad. So if you are really there, give me my money back, then I'll believe you. The one who conveniently changes his prayer is called Dushta Buddhi. So whatever you pray, it will be listened. So the dacoits on the way, they think, look at that fellow, very evil face. He's not even fit to be robbed. So they bring the money back and give it to him. This businessman never even cared to thank mentally that great God who has been instrumental in getting. So he goes back. On his way back, he has to cross a river like in the previous chapter. Then like in the previous chapter, this Brahmin comes. He asks money for vratha. Like the businessman, he never lied. He says, why should I give? This is all my hard-earned money. Go away. I don't give. Ego. The Brahmin goes away. Then he puts the money bags in the small boat. He goes to cross the river. In the middle, it is stuck in a whirlpool. Then the boatman says, Ayya, if you don't put these bags in the river, all will be washed away, you and me also. Then, what all the money he has earned by doing so many bad deeds, he just lifts one after another bag and puts in the river. At that time, out of the grief, he gets a vairagya. Mata anasti, pita anasti, ardho nasti, gruhan nasti, tasmat jagrata. See, this money, I did so many things. It's not going to save me now. Now he prays really God. Oh God, you are there. Now I believe. I am not even asking you to save me. Please, if there is a next birth, please see that I am born as a Vishnu Bhakta. To that surrender, what happens? A hidden hand comes from the bed of the river, pushes the boat the other side. When he gets out of the boat, he becomes a Subuddhi and prays to Sathyannarayana lifelong and gets salvation. That's, of course, the next chapter. And the final story is, there was a king who was very pious but never had any child. So the people of his kingdom got very worried about the king who is very good. And why this good king should have a bad incident in his life. So they go to a forest and they go to a rishi, a saint, who when a hair from his body falls, one yuga completes. That means that is figuratively described to describe he's a very, very ancient rishi. So the moment, naturally, he should be having some powers. So the moment he sees the crowd, they say, he says, you have come for your king, for the children, right? Then the people ask, we know that you are a knowledgeable person. It's not strange that you don't know, you know this. But we want to know what is the reason. So that will serve as a guidance for us. That great king should not have child. What's the reason? Then he says, he may be good in this birth, but previous birth, when a pregnant cow was drinking water, he beat that cow with a stick, driven that away, and drank that water. And for that, in this life, whatever he does, he will never get child. There should be some amendment that crowd will ask. If you do this Satyanarayana Puja and offer that phalam to this king, he will get child. So now all the people assemble in the forest itself, they do the Satyanarayana Puja, and finally the king gets the child. So these are the stories given in the Satyanarayana Vrata. which which gives you a lot of message of the lifestyle. Stotra is Jivana Sutra, and we need to constantly remind us of the lifestyle and implement that in our life. Then one Satyanarayana Puja is enough for the life. I hope and pray to Lord Satyanarayana to give that knowledge, skill, ability and confidence, trust, devotion, concentration to everyone, so that our lives are full of happiness, peace and health. More important, health now. And may God bless you all. Sri Matre Namaha.